wanted to introduce Genevieve to you all. So let me just give you a background of Genevieve, even though you have it in the social media. So Genevieve is an experienced banker working at Fidelity at the moment, with expertise in relationships and wealth management, and managing teams to perform at their highest level. She manages Fidelity Bank's ASC Mall branch, where she is responsible for delivering sustained growth in the branch business and contributing to the bottom line result of the bank. She is management certified by the Cranfield Business School, UK, Harvard Business School, and CBS China. Genevieve is currently a doctoral candidate at Swiss Business School. She holds EMBA from the University of Canada Business School and a Business Administration graduate from GIMPA. She is an associate member of the Retail Banking Academy, UK, and also a full member of the Chartered Institute of Leadership and Governance, New Mexico, USA. She's a career planning trainer, a student coach, and has passion for entrepreneurial empowerment and capacity building for women. Shall we welcome Genevieve Duncan?
So good afternoon once again. Like I said, my name is Genevieve. I am happy the setup because it's going to be very engaging. I think we are all projectors. I'm not. So when the questions are being written, I'm not a projector very expert. I'm now trying to be like that. So for today, what we're going to discuss is basically on Jigsaw. And I'd like to start by saying that in whatever project we find ourselves managing, we'll definitely need some kind of people to manage this through that. There's no way we can manage projects on our own. So a puzzle is actually some sort of confusion and something like that. Trying to find the best fit, trying to be sure that you are getting who should be here, who should be there, and then at the end of the day we get the outcome that we are all looking out for. So I'll start by saying Jigsaw, how projects teams can function optimally. Because whatever we do at the end of the day, we want the best out of it. So I start with the Jigsaw puzzle. I'm sure when we were kids, we all played some kind of puzzle. And I'm sure even now, some people play puzzles. I know when it comes to IT, we figure out a lot of things. So puzzle is something that IT people use a lot. And so when you look at a puzzle is always bits and pieces of things that you need to make sure that you are fixing right and getting the outcome that you want. You can end up fixing a puzzle and it becomes a human being. You can fix a puzzle and it becomes a car. You can fix a puzzle and it becomes like something else. So that is how I want us to openly discuss Jigsaw today. Because you're going to relate our Jigsaw to the project teams that we manage and then the outcomes that we get. So I asked the question, would you buy pizza with the missing slice? I heard somebody say, no way, definitely, because you want to have a complete pizza. You want to have a pizza that you think is full. The same way in managing projects, you want to have an outcome, and the outcome cannot come if something is missing or if there is a missing link. So that is how I want us to engage our discussion this afternoon. This is, I know a lot of men are here, men love football. So when we are talking about teams, football is one of the basic things we can all use as a scenario. In the football, I'm not a football fan, but what I know, the little I know is that when it comes to football, football is a game where people are very passionate about. People want to see the outcome, and the outcome is actually we want to go home with a cup, nothing else. That is all we are interested in. But how do we go home with a car? We need to have a strategy. We need to think. We need to find out how we are going to fix who should be here, midfielder, who should be at the goalkeeper point, who should be the striker, and all the other angles that we need. And the same way when it comes to project management. I'm sure when you have a big project, I heard the government person talk about projects. When it comes to projects, if you don't get the best fit at the end of the day, no matter how brilliant the project manager is, if you don't get the best fit in terms of your team members, I'm sorry to say you will come out as a failure. But you might be the best project manager on earth. So that is how I want us to look at it. So I'm looking at the analogy of a football project. I remember we've had a few issues with football. So I don't want people to remember some of the things, but I'm sorry as I go along the line, we'll remember one or two things that happened in football some years ago in Ghana. So looking at the project, I can see Asamajan over there. I think he's a midfielder or a striker. I don't really know too much about them, but I can identify definitely in this thing there is a striker, there is a midfielder, there is a goalkeeper. Please, who is a bit? Is he a midfielder? Is he a midfielder? Because I know the midfielders are the people in the middle who are trying to get into the okay. So looking at this team, I'm sure if it was all made up of just strikers, at the end of the day, they won't get the results that they need to get. If it was also all made up of people like Asamoah, he's a striker. Okay, so if it was all made up of goalkeepers, I think there was Stephen Appiah. Okay, I don't know. Okay, I don't know. But like, I have some of the names in mind. So some of the people I admire in football, they are the people probably I'll use as examples. So when I make a mistake, then please correct me. So like I'm saying, looking at a team like this, definitely if we don't get all the important roles being fitted for, definitely we will surely not get the outcome. You all agree with me that even sometimes when we get the perfect fit, even with that, things can go wrong. So how much more when you don't get the perfect fit? What happens? I'm looking at bringing the couple because I want us to relate to the football match. Before you bring a couple or before you undertake any project, definitely there are some processes that you need to follow. You need to first of all have the idea. Okay, so there is this project we are going to undertake, or we want this project, then we relate it like that. Once you want a project, it means that there should be some kind of planning. You can't plan alone. You need people to plan with. You need key members who will occupy key roles in the project to be able to bring out the outcome that you're looking for. You also need to at least have some sort of testing, or I'll say in business, prototyping or piloting. You need to get to see that, am I going to get the outcome, looking at all that I have put in place, am I really going to get the outcome that I am required to get? You also look at partnership or role play. That is where you fit people. So probably she would be good when it comes to managing the event itself. Like today, I'm sure there were organizers who had to make this function happen today. If they weren't there, I'm sure the heads or the people who were manning the program couldn't have. You're welcome.
Thank you.
I'll hold on for you to sit down and then I can still want to sit. So just before you enter, we're talking about the Jigsaw Effect. And because we are project management experts all here, excluding myself, we wanted to actually relate project management and the outcomes you are going to get to the Jigsaw puzzle. And I said earlier that Jigsaw is actually trying to get the best fit. So in project management, we are trying to make sure that whatever our outcome is dependent on the project manager and the team involved. So that is what we're discussing before we came. We're using the analogy of a football match or the football team. And I was just saying that there are methodologies. Just as there are methodologies trying to execute any project. Look at the idea, look at your planning, look at your testing, and then I was on the partnership again. So I was saying that for instance, you might be a good manager in terms of projects, so you might be a project manager. But then maybe she might be very good when it comes to actually making sure that the groundwork are done. So you cannot be all things to all people. You cannot be everywhere. So you need someone like her to fit where you think she has expertise. Then you need someone like Mr. around you to make sure that once she is doing it, she needs something of finance. The finance manager is actually to a finance team. So that is the analogy we actually use. And then when it comes to execution, because you know that you put the right thing in place, because you know that you actually put everyone where he or she is supposed to be, definitely you are assured of a brilliant outcome. That is the joy, that is the hope, or that is the picture we all look at when we start a project. And then, like I said earlier on, there is nothing in this world that is challenging. And that's why I said, you all remember the Suarez in the Ghana team that made all of us cry. I'm not a football fan, but that day I was very sad. I cried because I could tell my husband was not too happy, my brothers were not happy. Football brings people together. So I remember when it's football, you see all the men coming together and they leave us in the kitchen or cover, we'll be lying somewhere. I love to read. So I'll be lying somewhere reading. But when I hear the goal, then I'll follow on. So I remember on this particular day, there was someone called Suarez. And just when we had the opportunity to win a penalty, if I'm right,
To score.
Okay, not even a penalty, to score. Unfortunately, last minute score. And that we know that that one will qualify us to the next level. And just as projects, once you are able to come out with the best outcome or the outcome that is expected for your project, it takes you to the next level. Because by word of mouth, you did a brilliant job. So you get more jobs. You work with a team that gave you excellent delivery. You get more jobs. That's the whole idea. Unfortunately, relating it to this, somebody could not play a role that the person should have played. And we're all disappointed. I think it was Asawaja. And we're all disappointed. I would say that obstacles is one thing that we can't run away from in life. So as leaders, as project managers, as project team members, why or what would we look at in terms of surmounting obstacles? How would we go about it? The best thing is to look for the right people in the first place, so that one step ahead we are assured of victory. Because once you have the right team, you know confidently that 50 or 60% of the work is almost done. Then you look at how, in case this happens, how do we surmount it? In case it happens like this, how do we surmount it? So I think I had two pictures. I really prefer this one because I'm trying to depict this. This is a picture of Suarez. So the back says Suarez, just to remind us of who that person is, who the obstacle was in our time. But in this picture, he was happy, victorious. So whether it was our match or another match, the picture is trying to tell you that once there are obstacles, somebody would also be rejoicing over your failure. Because definitely we are in competition with people. You can't manage projects and think that it is only you who wanted that project. Somebody also wanted that project so badly. But because you won, it can be genuine means, it can be sometimes nepotism, which we all know. But I'm assured that as project experts like you, definitely it will be genuine means, I'm sure. And once it's genuine means, remember that it's not everybody who's happy. So whoever wanted that project, even sometimes people who are even on your team, not basically the people you are working with on the project, but people who are even with you, let me relate it well with our work. People who are even with you, people will not really be happy about your progress. So when there are obstacles, and unfortunately the obstacles are obstacles that we caused ourselves, then we give people the room to enjoy or to laugh at us. So in this picture, he was excited because at the end of the day, whatever happens, he has won. And he's going to be glorified. But what about Ghanaians? What about Samoajan? All the things we said about him. So I'm just trying to relate to say that in every project, we have Suarez's, we have obstacles, but how are we prepared to surmount these obstacles? The onus is not just on the project manager, but it's on the project team members as well. Because when victory comes, it's for all of us. It's not for only one person. And then now I'm looking at competitive edge. Because like I said earlier, nothing in this life is without competition. Everything we do in life is with competition. And for me, I love competition because I think competition makes you one step ahead. Competition makes you think smart. Competition makes you innovative and creative because you know what I'm going to do. Is this something that somebody can easily copy? I heard Dr. Howard talk about tacit knowledge. Is it going to be easily copied? Is it going to be something that you can easily get to know the strategies I use to get this outcome? Once it is not like that, then it means that if I get the right fit, if I get the right team members, at the end of the day, I'm going to have something over my competitor. And at the end of the day, when my outcome is good and I get it done and done well, then I have an upper hand over my competitors. And that is what business is all about. I am a banker. We have so many banks. Unfortunately, some banks have collapsed. I'm not rejoicing over people's. But all I'm trying to say is that, unfortunately, the competition, and funny enough, somebody would think because the banks have been reduced, the competition is now king. Because you see now, everybody is having an amount of money to play with. Initially, if I was having more and you were having less, today you and I are on the same play field. We have the same thing. So what am I leveraging on? I'm leveraging on the people I'm working with. I always say that people are the best resource we can find. Unfortunately, most times we think people are just working tools. Thank you so much, ma'am. Working tools. But if you get the right people to work with and you come out victorious or you come out with the best outcome, it goes for you. And at the end of the day, it is you who has the brand that everybody will come to. So these are some of the things that I want us to relate to. So I'm asking a question. I said, what will competency ed bring for a project team? Let's assume that we've divided this room into two parts. And we have project team A, project team B. Project team A is, project team A is on a journey. The same way project team B is on a journey. Let's assume that it's even a competition, a healthy competition amongst us. We all work with the same organization. We've all been given one project, but then we want to find out who comes out with the best solution. So we are all together. Definitely, if I am in this quadrant and I belong to this, and I have some key information that will make us win, definitely I have to bring it on board. Because the point is that if I understand as much as my project manager understands that this journey we are going, it's a competition. So when we win, it goes for all of us. As much as I'm the project manager and I'm going to take maybe 40%, and then maybe I'll share the 60% to the rest of my team members. At the end of the day, when we win, it's all of us. I'm not going to take all to my home. And the glory is not just going to come to me, it's going to come to all of us. So this is how I want project teams and project managers to relate with outcomes of projects. Once we are in the same line and we understand that we are all going towards a particular direction, and I am leading, but I can't lead alone and I can't get the work done alone, but I need people to work with, so I get it done. The same way with the other quadrants. If you also get to understand that, okay, at least these people are using some strategies. By some means, maybe you got some information. You definitely want to outsmart them by using a different strategy that will give you a different outcome. At the end of the day, it is the outcome we are looking out for. We are looking for something that will give us an edge over the other. And that is why I'm asking that once we understand that this is the journey, this is how we're going to go, and we are all ready for it, then at the end of the day, we are assured that we can get a perfect outcome, and then we can have competitive edge over the others. And I'm also asking them, what or who will you go for as project managers? Will you go for the right person or the right tool? And I'm happy when you said people are seen as tools. We all work. I mean, we all work. And we know that sometimes people are seen as just a means to accomplish something, and that ends it. So the following slides will actually tell us what we need to do as project managers to get the best outcome, and what we also need to do in terms of our project team members. What are some of the things that we should do so that at the end of the day, competitive edge is what we are all looking out for. So I'm asking a question. How would you say the strength of the team is each individual member. The strength of each member is the team. Is by Jackson. I don't know if you agree. It's actually him, if you agree with him. It's true, you think so. It's like I said, it's going to be quite engaged and talk for like the past 15 minutes. So if you say this, what makes you think it's so let's say we have a 5-member team. Maybe the project team leader is great. He has all the knowledge in his head. But the other 4 are weak. So if you put the 4 together, without the project manager or the team leader, the rest cannot do anything, and they're not connecting the field. But if each of them has knowledge, maybe in one knowledge area, you put the 5 of them together, with each one focusing on the area where they have their strengths. You pull that synergy. Definitely. Thank you so much. I will give you a hand of applause. You've said it right there, and I don't need to even ask anybody. But in case somebody has any other opinion, you can share.
Well, can we ask questions along?
Yes, please.
Can we ask questions?
Yes, it's an engagement
on your competitive
session.
advantage, how to identify a good talent?
Please, some of us can't hear.
I'm saying that on his competitive, that the slides are not normal. The one before.
Please go back. Thank you.
He's asking what? My first question is, how do I handle as a project leader, manager? How do I handle a team member or members who put money before job? And then secondly, I want to know how can I identify a talent to fit into a specific requirement to accomplish the whole project lifecycle.
Thank you so much. So the first question was, how does he identify a team member who puts money before his job?
No, how do I handle?
How do you handle
A team member
to
who
manage
puts money
that person?
before the job.
Okay. I'll start by saying that all of us, I mean everybody here, money means everything to everybody. But I always use a scenario that as I stand here, I work with Fidelity. Fortunately, I have one of my bosses here. So I work with Fidelity, and I'll use my own scenario to answer your question. So I came from another bank. I came from GC, Ghana Commercial Bank. But prior to coming to Fidelity, I had worked somewhere. So I didn't come straight from a bank to a bank. So when I came on board, whatever I was being given at that time, I think some other people felt, no, I think you should have got it. And we always see this. People have discussion. Why? I think because people look at people's money, you know that. And I remember I said to somebody that I don't think it matters to me so much. Because for me, Genevieve, I have a strategy in life. Once I have entered Fidelity, that is where I wanted to be. That is the first step. The second step is between now and probably 5 years, what do I do to take me to the next level? You know, sometimes you don't need to even negotiate your salary. It would come at all costs. So that was my point. And over the years, the story has, explained itself. So in answering your question, definitely some people, money means everything to them. It's not about recognition. It's not about tapping the person to say, oh, well done, you did a great job. It's all about money. It's all about, okay, so I did this and you've given me a letter to say you've done well. And so, congrats. I don't need that. What I need is money. It's about attitude. It's about mindset. That is how the person's mindset works. With such a person, what I can say to you is that definitely the person is not the only team member you have. When people feel that they are not indispensable, it puts them on the right track. But I always say I'm a people's person. And in managing people, you come across some of these things. The first thing for me, for you to do is that you need to have an engagement with that person. Because most times as leaders or as project managers, we fail to look at the other side. And I'm sure, I don't want to jump because we'll come to that. We fail to look at that side. Because at the end of the day, in working with people, they have their own plan, they have their own focus. So you might be looking at the outcome. What have you exhibited? What have you shown to the staff or the team member you're working with? That once the money comes, really, it's for all of us. So wait, let's get the outcomes that we are required. Once we get it, and I trust you that once we get it, you're not going to left out. I don't want to use some words. Once I'm not going to left out, or once I'm not going to feel that I deserve better than I was given, then I know that, okay, it's something I can trust. If it has happened once, if it has happened twice, then the person has another mindset. Because like I said, we are human. I might not be influenced by money, or I will not put money before my job, but somebody will. So my point is that once you encounter somebody like that, the first thing for me you should do is to have an engagement with the person. Let the person understand that in life, sometimes you even need to do things voluntarily. Because you see, out of doing that, it gives you expertise. It gives your potentials that probably you don't even know about it. It's hidden. It comes out. Secondly, once you are due this money, Why not? Once the outcome is right, why won't you get this money that you are looking out for? But if the person is very persistent and the person is either money or forget the job, I am believing that definitely that person will not be the only person that can be used for this job. But let me assume that critical point, you need that person at all costs. What I will do as a project manager, even if I need the person at all costs and I can't do without the person, the first option for me is to let the person feel that without you, this job will still happen. The second thing for me is if I need to even look for money, so I make the person aware that the money has not been given, but if you want this money at all costs before you start, or probably if you think the percentage you want it doesn't make a lot of meaning, but you want it at all costs, even my own part, I can let you have it. And at the end of the day, remember, it is one project. Once you get the outcome of that project, you've learned a lesson from me. Next time, I don't think you would even bring that person on board. I don't know if I have answered your question. Are you sure? All right, thank you. So I would want to go on quickly. We are left to just about 3 or 4 slides, and then. So I don't know if there was a second question here. Yes, there was a second question.
How to
handle
talent.
Yes.
You know, there are a lot of people working at time when you tons of applications, you come on board, you can see that some of them are trash.
I mean, I agree with you.
So how do I handle myself?
Is it how you hunt?
No, how do I hunt?
Okay. I always use the word, there is something called the 3 again, or it's a pyramid, or a triangle, I'm sorry. It's an HR tool, so you attract people, you recruit them. The last one, which a lot of times we fail to do, is to retain them. How do we retain people? You need to develop them. You need to invest in them. You need to actually let them know that this is a partnership. I've always been saying to small and medium scale businesses, because I work with them a lot, that you say to me that you don't need to train your staff, you don't need to worry yourself about investing in them, because at the end of the day, they'll leave you and go. Or at the end of the day, whatever you teach them, they'll go and open their own. And I ask them a simple question. Do you know that a great teacher is one who teaches and the student even becomes better? Because then you feel proud that you taught well. And do you also know that if you want the best outcome in whatever field you find yourself in, do you know that if I am a worker to your company, but I see that you've invested so much in the company, you want the company to stand, and probably I'm a bad worker, let me put it like that, but you've invested so much in me, so I'm leaving. Honestly, I'm leaving with my own guilt. People are different. So some people will leave at all costs. We get companies, big organizations, sponsor people to programs and courses. When they come, because they were not bonded, when they come, they just resign. But the question I ask myself is, for me as a leader, or for me as a project leader, when you identify a talent in your team, how do you retain that talent? You need to invest in the talent. You need to actually have, I'll say, a program that you put that person on, so the person becomes somebody you are holding hands to get to the next level. And unfortunately, in this part of our world, we don't see a lot of great managers or great leaders do that. Most people are threatened. Most people think of a Genevieve Duncan, or the person will end up becoming a shining star than I am. But the truth of the matter is that when you do that, or when you have that mindset, definitely you can retain people. Because you are reluctant to even give them the best. You are reluctant to push them to the next level. You don't want to see them progress. But ask yourself, if there is no progression in it, there wouldn't be succession planning. So you are gone, and the program or the outcome of it's all gone. I don't know if you get where my direction is. So for me, I'll always refer back to attracting the person, recruiting the person, because you have interviews and all that. At the end of the day, how do you retain a great talent? Because it's not everybody who's a great talent. So you can let go of some people. But even when it's critical, some people, I always say that, give them shares in your businesses. Make them partners. Make them feel they're part of the business. You can even say that under normal circumstances in this project, when you win, or when we come out with the best outcome, your percentage is 20%. But looking at how sacrificial you are, how committed you are to this project, I think I'm going to give you something. Don't you think that when you do that to that person, don't you think that that person would feel that, oh wow, so it's not really about just me getting the result, but he's actually appreciated me, recognized my talent, and at the end of the day, adding something little to it. And then I think when it happens like that, other team members learn. That is healthy competition. So I'm doing better and I'm doing well, so then other people get to learn. I don't know if I've answered you. Thank you so much. So going ahead, I'm asking, role of project manager. As a project manager, what are some of the things that we should do? What are some of the things that we should do to get, and around, you have been signaled 5 minutes. I think you need to give me 10 minutes because 5 minutes of the 20 minutes for the questions went inside. So set the direction. So let your team members know that this is the way forward. This is where we are going. Because if you don't communicate the direction, it will be very difficult for everybody to follow up or to pull along. Also, play to individual strength. And she said it right there. That you should tap on the strengths of people. We are all not the same. We are different people. I may have my strength. Somebody would have the strength in another field. Once we pull all these strengths together and you play on the strength of people, then you get the right team. Recruit wisely and appoint tactfully. Most times, I think because of favoritism, because we like someone, the person might not be the best for that role, but we think, oh, I think I want to project this person more than the other. So I would rather put this person in. But the truth of the matter is that in trying to fit or fix a puzzle, that is the heading of our discussion. In trying to fix a puzzle, you don't just need people, you need the right people at the right fits so that you get the best outcome. Give autonomy, allow the team to think and become innovative. I don't like, and I always say that, I can't micromanage people because that is 20 or 40 or even 50 years ago. And unfortunately in Ghana and in Africa, we see a lot of micromanaging. It is not because we, the project managers, want to micromanage people, but the attitude of the people we are working with. People are going to school, like she said. People have all the certificates in the world, but they can't think. I'm sorry to say. They can't think. They can't give you results that you are looking out for. You need to be hovering around them and their necks to be sure that they are doing what they're supposed to do. But I think as project leaders or project managers, once we start doing some of these things, we'll get people to start thinking and to become a bit innovative. So that is the strategy that I want us to take. If we are micromanaging people, let's try and tweak it a bit. Don't let us micromanage them. Let's find out, we have different ways. We have some people you need to tell, some people you need to actually show what to do, but you don't necessarily go checking to see, have you done it? Have you done it? No. Because it puts too much stress on human beings. And I don't think as a leader, you need to be strategic. It's not micromanaging people. And also, I'm asking them, you need to motivate your team. Because motivation, we all have a different, somebody's own will be money, somebody's own will be recognition. Mine might just be recognition, yours might be money. Somebody's own might be both. Everybody and what the person gets motivated by. Be emotionally intelligent. In this place, I said something that apply BECC. I'll still talk about it, don't worry, I'm sorry the light is off. BECC is basically you trying to bond. The B stands for bond. Bond with your team members. Let them know that it is not just about the job. It's not just about the project. It's about me having that relationship with you. It is not transactional after the project, bye-bye. No. It is me actually bonding with you and getting you to understand that I know what you go through. I understand. I also go through, but for the sake of this project and the outcome, let's just focus and concentrate and get the outcome. The E is actually empathy or empathize. Putting your shoes or your feet in somebody's shoes. Most times in the banking industry, people say, I'm coming back to you. People say, we work as if we are doing them a favor. And I agree, it's not just the banking industry, a lot of other industries. Because people have not realized that as I have come to the banking hall to withdraw money, probably I rushed out of work. I need to quickly hurry up and go back. Or probably it's my lunch break and I wanted to use 30 minutes in the banking hall and then go back. So if I empathize with you, the customer, then I feel your pain. I know that, oh, okay, so if I have to sacrifice, probably I'm going to have lunch, but I see that the queue is getting longer. So quickly, I come and I actually serve you. When the banking hall is a bit free, I can go and have my lunch. That is empathy. So how do you empathize with your team members? How do you get them to understand that I really understand what you are going through, but for the sake of this job, let's just get it done. At the end of the day, we can go back to our worries and all our woes. And then the C, one of the C is to connect. Connecting with somebody is not easy because I might not be like-minded with you. Probably you think differently and I think differently. But once I know that it's a project and we need an outcome, I need to let you understand that I understand what you're going through. It is quite different from bonding. I understand what you're going through. I know what. We all go through these things. But let's just get the work done. When we are done, we are still parties. So I might have said something that did not go well with you. But I'm connecting with you to understand that it is just for the sake of the job. At the end of the day, don't take it personally. And then the other one, which is the other C, the last C, is communication. Those times we'll say, I told him, but the work was not done. Communication is actually a process. At the end of the day, if you don't get the kind of feedback, probably you did not even communicate at all. So these are some of the things that as project managers, we need to look at. And I'm very passionate when it comes to emotional intelligence. Because as leaders, as project managers, we need to forget about it's only the outcome, the outcome, the outcome. People go through a lot of issues. It can be their personal life, it can be anything. But how emotionally intelligent a project manager is, gets the team members to understand that really, the person cares about me. So your soft skills, you have to up it a bit. If you don't have it, we are all different. People don't, it's not everybody who is very good when it comes to like relating to people. Somebody is very laid back. But once you know that I need to get this person to the next level, and these are some of the things that I need to do. Once you do them, I'm sure we'll get the best result. I will hold my laptop.
Apply the double R's.
Yes.
This one.
The double R, that is recognition and
I'm
reward.
holding it for you.
Oh, thank you. I don't mind holding it at all. Recognition and rewards. And I think in answering your question, I spoke about it. I said that it's not everybody who wants the money. Some people just need the recognition. That, oh, you did so excellently on this project. And you say it aloud. You say it, you celebrate the person. So you celebrate the person for the other team members to know that, oh, really, look at how he or she has been celebrated. If it's my turn, I would also be celebrated. And the other R is the rewards. Let us try and give people what they are due. Let's give them what they are due. Because you see, once you want to have a sustainable business or a sustainable project, you always look out for the best people. Once you get them, try as much as possible to relate with them well, to manage them well, to make sure that you are being fair to them. So that at the end of the day, they also feel that you are really a fair person, and why would I run to another project manager if you are there and you give me what I want? So the two R's are basically rewards and recognition. Can we connect back? Can we connect back? Then there was a part of where team members should also come in. For team members, I always say that once the direction has been communicated to us, and we know this is where we are going, we should remember that every project has a deadline. The project will not be forever. The project will come to an end. So if we are not able to manage the time and the costs, so at the end of the day, we know everything is money. So at the end of the day, if we are working with time and we are working to efficiently with costs, then we are reminded that we have a timeline. We don't need to wait till the last minute before we try rushing to get things done. That is one role that I think as project team members we should look out for. We should also try to put others along. In a team, not everybody will be like you. So the team has been assigned a particular task. How do you get your other team member to come along with you? Probably you've been assigned to do something and finish by next week. But I might have been done with mine. But how do I pull you along? How do I help you? Because remember, at the end of the day, if I finish and you haven't finished, you're on the same project. So I have not achieved the outcome. And at the end of the day, we will not achieve the goal. So basically, pulling people along is one task that I always say team members should also look out for. And then also, I think I finished with this. Yes, so time and cost efficiency. And then updates. Most times people have finished the work. But for them to even communicate amongst ourselves to say that, you know what, I am done. We need to move to the next level by next week. So I need you to make sure that by Friday you put in your outcome. Then that is also like team leaders or team leaders amongst smaller teams. And then we are also saying that how do you exhibit team spirit, which I have spoken about already, by pulling others along. And then anticipating the obstacles, the suarezes in our projects. How do we surmount them? So it means as smaller groups, we need to strategize. We need to come up with ideas and strategies that will help us to surmount the challenges that are ahead. And then I say, be the perfect fit. So I am part of the jigsaw. I'm part of the puzzle. If I know this is where my strength is, this is where I fit perfectly, and I go and fit them, and that is not my perfect fit, you distort the whole outcome. You distort the team. You distort the project. And then I'm saying that in managing teams, whether you're the project team head or you're a project member, these are 5 C's that you should always have at the back of your mind. Coaching. Try and actually engage others, whether they are your business members, they are your partners, they are your project leaders. Project leaders has a responsibility to coach. The same way with us, project team members, we also have a responsibility. Because like I rightly said, your team members might not all be like you, but you might be able to help them. And I always use a word called co-mentoring. So it's not only the boss who mentors the young person. Amongst colleagues, they can also mentor each other. The same way, among colleagues, they can also coach each other. And then character. Building character is very difficult. People have come with their own ideas, their own strengths, their own problems, their own issues. But if you know the 5 stages, now it's 5 stages of team building, definitely you have to form a team. There will be storming moments where people are trying to, then you know, then at the end of the day, we all perform and we are happy. I think there's a last one that has been added. Agenda. Yes, thank you. So when you know all these steps, know that people have come with their own attitude, mindsets, beliefs and all that. But how do we help build other characters in our team so that the outcome will be what we are all looking out for? And then commitment. How committed are we to the project at hand? And then the last one is consistency. If you are consistent in life, wherever you find yourself, it goes for you. Because if you are not consistent, today you say this or you do this, tomorrow the outcome is different. If you are a continuous person, somebody who is consistent in terms of excellence delivery, definitely the project will just be coming. Because if I know you perform so excellent and over the past 2 years you have a track record, why won't I encourage you to give me this project? And so that's some of the thoughts that once in my mind when I was saying, how do you manage? And I pointed to the 5 C's. I love quotes a lot. So I'm asking a question. What happens when we don't identify individual strengths? And then quotes by John Maxwell. He says the strength of the team is impacted by its weakest link. And I guess you all agree with me. Because definitely there will be serious or huge costs if we are not able to identify the right fits. And that is why I quoted from John Maxwell. They said that the chain, like this chain I'm wearing, a wristwatch, the link, the weakest link is actually part of this. So if I forget myself, probably one of them is what, and I don't find a way of fixing it, I can't wear this watch anymore. So that is how we should look at project management. That's how we should look at managing our teams. And then to almost end this, we are talking about the jigsaw. So I'm asking, the missing jigsaw makes the puzzle complete. I hope you agree with me. Because if you don't get all the missing links, definitely you are not going to get it complete. And another quote says, great things in business are never done by one person. They are done by a team of people. On this note, I'm sure I'm almost done. Yes. Thank you so much. And the floor is open now for all the questions in 15 minutes. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
I don't say it's so short.
It's so short.
Your time.
We would have loved that we go extra time. Some of us, our stomachs are crying for something to enjoy. So we will entertain 3 questions and then we prepare for our lunch. So let's see those who, okay, my friend here is the first person. Let's have two more. Okay, the second person. The last one is going to ask the last question, please. Franklin. Okay, so please, can you tell us your name and then you can give us your question.
My name is Charles Jokoto. I'm a student at Ashesi University. I think my question is a follow-up to the question man asked about job hunting. So most of the times what we see is your talent hunt. So we see companies like Goldman Sachs, ExxonMobil coming from outside to recruit talent. And what they do is they look out for potential instead of experience. And that's what our local firms don't do. And I think this is as a result of their inability to perform risk assessment and same time risk management practices. So as project managers, to what extent should we allow ourselves or expose ourselves to risk assessment and management, and in terms of looking for potentials in students instead of experiences?
Thank you so much. I love the question. You know why? Because I'm an advocate for a change when it comes to the way we recruit. I have always said that I don't believe in the papers anymore. I don't believe in the certificates anymore. Or you don't agree? I believe in the attitude of the person, the potential that the person has that sometimes you don't see easily. Some people are so, sorry to say, so timid to the extent that when they come for even interviews, they are not able to speak up. So you think, this person cannot really perform. But the truth of the matter is that I have managed teams, different teams, and I have seen people who are not really talkative or they don't exhibit so much when they come to interviews, but they are the best of staff. And also to add that, I'm not so old, but I remember that when we were in school, there were things like career planning, we get companies to come to the schools and things. But unfortunately, the population of Ghana now, there is no way. The jobs are not even available. So it is so difficult for us to actually go back into some of these things. But I also think that under normal circumstances, if you identify a talent, you see, if we don't have a room where we even do internships, 100 students will come looking for internship. At the end of the day, maybe just 5 people will end up getting internship. Unlike the developed world, where you get students, they are on vacation, just 2 months, and they can get to work in some Costco shop, or they can get to work with maybe a filling station. Ask ourselves, even the youth of this country, are people prepared to even work in those kind of areas? No, they all want to be in the banks. They don't know how to suffer, but they all want to be in the banks. Don't we suffer, my dear? Is it easy in the bank? Is it easy in the bank? It is not. There are so many things that youth of today are not doing, and that is why, but for me, I'm looking more into the system. The systems are not there. Unfortunately, it is difficult. So people like Goldman Sachs, as you rightly said, will come to University of Ghana, look for talent. And how do they look for talent? For all you know, they are not looking at the things that we would be looking out for. Certificates. How many students are the best students in this class? They will take you through some kind of orientation. They have 360-degree angles of things that they can identify that you said you are an Ashesi. So you know the breed of Ashesi students. I have had an encounter with him. I don't know if you know a breed called Derrida. Derrida is a typical example I always use. Derrida is like a brother to me. I knew him before he came to Ashesi University. And when I see the transformation the school gave to Derrida, I always say proudly, because the institution is basically making things practical. It's not about chew, poor, pass, forget. It's about how best can I get this person to think this person to be creative. And I think as leaders, as project managers, when we start thinking like this, that it's not really about the certification. It's not really about a student who talks a lot in class, but it's about the attitude, the mindset. I always say that when it comes to books, we can all go to school, learn, get a certificate. But people have some skills that we need to identify. Because when the skill is right, definitely the qualification, you can always put it. Because once the person has the right attitude and the right skill, when the person goes to the classroom, the person will perform. I don't know if I've answered your question. Are you sure? Thank you. Please, the next question.
Yeah, for two. Okay, so my name is Faisal Ade, IT project manager. Mine is not about question per se, but it's a comment. Yeah, comment I wanted to make on the acronym, the bonding and the connection. I think they go together. And I do a lot of IT projects, and I use that a lot, and it helps. So it's not like always on the project. We always discuss things on the project, but we bond, connect, and even do things outside. Yes, outside the project, and it helps, especially when projects are about to be closed. See, that's where you need your developers to finish things up so that we go live and all that. But you realize that before we do that, we go through the acceptance test, the criteria checks and all that. And that is where frustration comes in. Because there will be changes, fixes and all that. But because of that bond, you can even call anyone midnight.
You're committed.
They are committed. Midnight, anytime, and then they relate. And at the end of the day, you realize that you've been successful. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I mean, it's actually laid more emphasis on the BECs.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Please, the last question. Yes, sir.
If you talk about, it's about application. I see the gap between knowledge and application. And then you talk about the example of empathy. That yes, you know that a lot of us walk into your banking hall probably during lunchtime because we want to just do something quick. Now the interesting thing is this. That lunchtime is taking over because we have to wait in that banking hall. So when you know, we also have the knowledge now. We have to step out of this room and then so there's how do we
I would like to make practical examples. So I manage the ANC Mall branch of Fidelity Bank, a high-end branch for that matter. People who come there, majority of the times, are people who have dashed out from the office. So I know my peak times. So during the peak times, I have 4 tellers. They all know that I would occasionally, and I don't announce when I'm coming. My office is upstairs, so I get down, it's like my exercise. So they don't know whether I'm coming down or not. And there is a rule, because when I come and I see more than 5 people, and somebody is eating, I have a problem. So I think it's one, you set a system or a culture. So you need to, I can't do that all the time, but once I've set the system right, even when I'm not there, somebody knows that if manager should work here now, or if somebody from the head office should come, it's a standard that we are setting. So if somebody should step here and 5, we have 4 tellers, and you see just 3 tellers, let me even say 3, not 2, 3 tellers working. Meanwhile, the queue is just getting longer. Then you have yourself to be blamed. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, I'll say that sometimes we say we empathize, but we don't. We use the word, but we don't empathize, because empathy means that I am actually putting my shoe, my feet in your shoe. Your shoe, your size is different from my size. Definitely when I take off my shoe, I'm not sure maybe another lady's feet will enter, but not everybody's feet will. But if they know how, as I've been standing, how maybe the last toe, my phone, how it is hurting me, probably have no idea. But I have to stand and pretend that everything is fine. Until I am done, probably I'll take it off. So the same way, in trying to empathize, you need to feel. And that's what I'm saying, that one is, attitude, to build a particular attitude for a long period of time, it's not easy. So you will not get it happen ASAP, but consistency, talking to the team, letting them understand that, look, this is the way to go. If we are talking about excellence, and people are not seeing this, and they are seeing Genevieve doing it all the time, but when she's not here, nobody's gonna say it. That is not excellence. That is not consistency. So I think we need a lot of work to be done to make sure that what we say we feel goes with how we do it, or the application and the actual work goes hand in hand. I don't know if I answered your question. Thank you so much.
A big round of applause for Genevieve.
Just give me 1 minute before I end. This is the book that I would say that if you have a chance to see or to find it on the shelf, please buy. Now there are a lot of audio books. You can actually get it, and then I don't know if it's build and 18. And you said something from the beginning. It said play to their strength and lead them up the learning curve, because we have different learning curves, low, medium, and high. So when you want to get the best out of your team, you need to play to their strength. Get them to give you what they have, not what they don't have, and you're trying to push and kill them. And it's by Whitney Johnson. It's a Harvard Business Review. And I think it's a good book I recommend for every project manager and a project team. On this note, I'd like to say thank you so much for your time.
Another round of applause, please. We really appreciate the effort that has gone into preparing and delivering the presentation.
Question was better. Where you don't have that's a big challenge. Me, I have a lot of yes, you don't have educated FBI nutrition.
Resources are scarce. It is difficult for you to get to commit. If, for instance, they have a mindset that is not right, if you don't have the right mindset, it's a problem. Maybe a new structure. Motivate them, whether identify that these team members want. Because somebody knows that at the end of the day, whether I kill myself or not, I'll get what I'm getting. And the person will not go out of his or her way to do it. Yes. But when you get to know, okay, at the end of the day, I'll get some small allowance in addition to what I'm doing. Then the person will know that you are going to motivate me. My pocket will also enjoy. So then I can do it. So now I'll make you aware that I can do it. Tomorrow, other people who can do it but they are hiding behind will now also say, oh, I can opt for this role, this role, this role. And then once you get that, so it's not easy, but with time, yes, it's not easy at all. They get to one attitude.
Especially with
Attitude.
all right.
You are worrying there. No, it's very real. Practical.
And if the job is not getting confirmed or then they can't do it.
That is why I started by saying the first things you need to start with. You need to communicate from day one. This is your routine. And you pull everybody along. You put empathy. Actually use emotional intelligence to let them understand that it's not just about the project. The project needs to be done. I always say that when it is done and it is well done, the glory goes to all of us. So once I'm a team member and I know that it's not that I want to push you too much and make you feel overhead, but communicated well. And I've used BECC, so I have bonded, I have connected, like I said. Once you do some of these things, you start getting the results. I always say it is not easy because the people who are working with said it's not easy. It's not same at all. Me, I have the same problem. Yes, you always hear of us. You know, I was in UNC in 2013. I've gone to give birth for a whole year. I was out of the life. I came back. I was at IPS. Mr. Baby called me out to go back to ANC. Because you see, I was when you play your role and you stand for something, that place is for high end. So they know that you can manage these things. Somebody will say, oh, they are too petty, they are this. But it's not about that. They expect nothing but the best. So you need to do the best. So I have team members who, it's not a joke, but consistently, I always say to them, when I'm not here, and it is all over, then it means I'm not paying the money. So I am connecting with them. I make time to have fun. I remember just this past holiday, it was Sid March. I took all of them to Aqua Safari. Some of them have not been there before. I said to them that some of them are going to travel outside Ghana before. I said this, everybody's going to travel at least one. So we are dividing ourselves into three. Me and my sector branch managers, we all went to Dubai this year. And I continue to Singapore. Because I feel work, when you add other things like connection, bonding, having time for yourself. So they saw me dancing and, you know, they were happy. So when we come back now and you need to work and you get me the result, we'll go back again. Maybe this time we'll go to Aqua Safari, we'll go to Dubai. You know? So you get to see how people think. You try to adapt different ways to get them to function. It's not easy, right, as well.
Your relationship is this. Sometimes you can spend 2 hours with one person. Why is your relationship? And how does empathy comes?
I agree with you. But sometimes you get to do as customer service. Once I have not done
Big man.
but I always say, I give them the street. I'm like, wait the conversation. It's not really what it should be. Some people would enjoy to talk. Once you see other people with it is just you have to be polite. That's it. Because the key thing has been done. So you don't need to over get it. So it's just about people learning how to maximize time and know that time is it's a really serious resource that you need to manage it. Exactly. I know. It's not a joke. I know. But I think you start from somewhere gradual and you get the kind of outcome that you're looking for. Thank you so much. Thank you too. And I wish you all the best. I'll be running back to you. Sure. All the best. Thank you.
So unfortunately,
but once in a while, if I don't know, do you put your teams together and talk to them and things? Yeah. Okay, you can always, you know, it's always good to have an external person, making them understand that it's not you, but if you want to excel, there are a few things. So once in a while, organize some of these sessions for them, let people get the chance to talk to them, and let them learn some sort of lessons from other angles, and then it makes them or shapes their mind. All right, all the best. Thank you so much.